we made our first sales, and it was a high ticket coaching program. My goal with this was to do 40K a month. We did that within 3 weeks. 14 months later, we crossed 10 million.
Today on the Slayer Day podcast, I'm joined by Jahraus, a powerhouse in the e-commerce space with over 13 years of experience helping entrepreneurs scale profitable online businesses. Dylan built her first Etsy shop to over $1 million in profit before expanding to Amazon and Shopify, and then scaled her coaching business to 10 million in just 14 months. All without ads, by the way. She now leads a team of 46 and has coached more than 4,500 students who generate over 27 million in combined monthly revenue. Get ready because Dylan is here to share how you can use Etsy as a top of funnel strategy, scale to $1 million a month, and build a team that supports your success without burnout. Dylan, welcome to the Slayer Day podcast.
Thank you for having me, Sandi. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, I am so excited to talk with you and get into the nitty gritty because you and I met through social. We met through Instagram and we did a quick little 20, 30 minute Zoom date with each other just to kind of learn about each other. And I kept asking all these questions. I'm like, I'm definitely going to ask you this on the podcast because all the girls need to know.
That's great. Well, let's play it back. Yes.
So I wanna just peel back the curtain. I wanna dive into your journey. Take me from the beginning. How did you get into this space?
Yes. Well, it was not at all intentional. This was not a dream or anything like that. I was in the corporate world for quite a while before I ever started doing things on my own. So I worked for some big companies, Zappos and Zulily, and I was in the buying and product development side of things. So I was climbing the corporate ladder. And then when I met my husband, I was about 24-ish, and he was in the military, and you move a lot, which I don't know why this didn't cross my mind. Yeah, you're going to be moving every couple of years, but that's not conducive to building that corporate career. And back then it was not remote. It was all in the office. So we moved to San Diego. There's not a lot of e-commerce here. So I was starting these side hustles. I was dog walking, house sitting, doing anything I could to feel like I'm accomplishing something. And Etsy was one of those things. And I threw something up on Etsy, as if it was Craigslist or something. And it sat there for 2 months. Finally, it sold. And then I realized, wow, this is an e-commerce platform, just like what I'm used to. If I apply what I knew from the past corporate world to this, we could see some results. And within 2 months of my first sale, we're making over 10K a month. And the rest was history. Yeah.
Okay. All right, hold on. So I know all the ladies listening are like, what? There's so many questions. Okay, so literally from dog walking to just throwing something up on Etsy, making 10K a month. Okay, so what was number one, what was that? I want to know what that was. And then what was that aha moment for you that you were like, oh my gosh, this is a real business here?
Yeah. So the item was a floral letter. So it was made out of fake flowers in the shape of a J for our last name, and it was from our wedding. And so it was a picture of it on the floor of our apartment. Something like a picture I just sent my mom of what I made for the wedding, and I just threw that photo up on Etsy. So it wasn't even a good picture. It was one picture, couple words. It said flower letter. And and then I said, you can choose your letter and your colors. And then people started buying it. And the aha moment, I would say, was about 4 months in. We're making consistent 10K months, 4 months after that first sale. And I had just found out I was pregnant with our first son. And I also, that same week, I had just gotten a great job offer for a huge promotion. It was working for Petco headquarters up in northern San Diego. And I had to decide, do I go all in with Etsy or do I take this corporate job? And I made the decision to take the corporate job. And I said, I can do better. I can do better. I can be the mom. I don't have to go the corporate route with daycare option. And so that's really when I went all in.
Wow. That's amazing. I think that a lot of times, I'll speak with even women inside my programs, my academy. There's also this urge, right? Where you're like, I want to be that present mom, but I also you want to have something of your own and you want to be able to have something that isn't also going to make you strapped to a computer or a phone 24 hours a day. So I want to talk about how you scaled this business to, you said it was 10 million in 14 months without ads.
Yeah, so that is the coaching business. So
Okay.
about 7 years into selling on Etsy, I actually was working so many hours standing on my feet, making these floral installations that I ended
Yeah.
up getting vascular disease in my legs. And so this is something that like old people get. And I was 30 years old roughly at the time. And so I ended up getting surgery. I kept working. The vascular issues came back in my legs. So I realized I cannot keep doing this. So I hired that business out, the Etsy shop, and I started a YouTube channel. And this was just
Burnout doesn't take a summer break. Between road trips, long days in the sun, and everyone's schedules exploding, your body takes the hit. Soursop gummies are your daily defense, fueled by over 200 active compounds to boost energy, strengthen immunity, reduce inflammation, and calm your stress. This is a mom's must-have for the summertime. Sugar-free, non-GMO, and low-carb, Soursop gummies are created by a team that truly cares about helping you heal naturally and holistically. Bundle and save today. Your family's summer strength starts here. Head over to the link in the description or soursopnutrition.com/Sandy. And make sure to use code Sandy20 for 20% off your entire order. Tap the link to start your best summer ever.
about just over 3 years ago, 3 years and 2 months ago. And
Wow.
right now I started filming on my phone, uploading
So you
daily.
were filming you doing, making these products? What were you filming?
I was filming my advice. So I was
Okay.
giving people at Etsy advice and doing videos on how to make money on Etsy.
Okay.
Yeah, so I saw a gap in the market. No one with an actual e-commerce background was teaching this. So I started just filming. I would make my own thumbnails with Canva. I was terrible,
Yeah.
terrible quality, but the information was valuable. I
Right.
gave away for free what other people charged for.
Right.
So it was almost like a course on YouTube, and people started asking for help. So
Mhm.
within a few weeks of that, we made our first sales, and it was a high ticket coaching program. And we did, my goal with this was to do 40K a month. We did that within 3 weeks. And then 14 months later, we crossed 10 million.
Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations. That is, and how amazing. Like you literally found a gap in the marketplace and you said, I know what I'm putting out there is valuable. Like there's something here. Right. And I think so many women, we discount our own knowledge and we're like, oh, like who would pay for this? Or I know how to do this. Like, who cares if I make something? So it's amazing that you took something. And also, I just love the fact that you started in a place like go back, I think you said 14 years ago, and you
Mhm.
just started. It almost seems like that message of like, just start before you're ready. Cause like
Oh,
you posted something that you were like, oh, I just had that for my wedding and I posted it up and it took off.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, totally. My motto for most of my life is put the food in the oven before it's preheated. And that is
Yes. Oh, I love that. That's so
that's
good.
yeah, like don't wait for it to preheat. This is how I do frozen pizzas. You turn the oven on, put the thing in.
Yes. Oh my gosh, me too. It's so funny. My husband, because I learned how to cook after I was married. Like I never was in the kitchen. My mom wouldn't even let me in the kitchen when I was little because she was a busy working mom. She was working very long days and she would come home. And if I was cooking, she'd be like, this is a mess. So like we were not allowed in the kitchen. So when I met my husband, he was the chef. And so it was so funny. I think I did do that. I like put the pizza in the oven. I'm like, oh, what do you mean you have to heat it up first? Like what? Like I had no idea. So I think that's hilarious. Okay, so there's so much to dive in here. I was so excited to have you on because I do not use Etsy. It's something that I don't like my business. We do not use it. So I'm excited. I have a lot of questions for you about Etsy. I know actually, even in talking to my Academy members about this space specifically, they want to know more about how do they get their digital products or services or courses onto a space like this. So I want to ask you, like, if someone, let's start from like zero, because I know that you also coach people who are already on Etsy and you help them kind of tweak and fine tune maybe their systems and processes and way that they're also running their businesses. But let's say you have someone who's never been on before. What would you say is like the best way to kind of start that journey so they're successful from the get go?
Totally. So, what I always recommend is for people who have other businesses, maybe it's a service based business, maybe they're doing consulting or have a course or something, look at what you have. Look at what you have and look at who your current customer is and who are you trying to attract to your business. And I would really recommend looking at the resources and the tools you have. Maybe it's checklists, maybe it's templates, maybe it's a workbook that you have. Honestly, look at all of the freebies or opt-ins that you've created for building your email list. You could be selling those for 99 cents on Etsy. And yeah, and so it's not about creating something necessarily for Etsy. You probably have things you could already maybe just pretty it up a little bit in Canva
Yeah.
and then you sell it. So use what you have and then honestly look at your current customers because that's the whole point of Etsy for you possibly is attracting more customers, top of funnel, customer acquisition. And Etsy is a search engine. So
Yes, that was going to be another question that I had for you. Okay, I love that.
yeah, it's just like Google, right? And it's going to help you rank higher in Google as well. I'm huge on organic growth. I don't like the idea of being handcuffed to ads because
Yeah,
what if ROAS is up and down? What if things are volatile?
right.
I don't want to be reliant on ads. So if there's like any organic method, I will milk that. And Etsy is one of those that you should definitely consider because they do have power in Google. So if you are listing things for your business on Etsy, digital products, it will help your business rank higher in Google as well.
Wow, interesting. So I didn't know that. That's amazing. I think also Etsy, for me at least, it seems like this unknown, because I haven't been in there, this unknown, untapped world. Because I'm like, man, there seems like there's so much on there. And it also goes back to the beginning of this conversation where I was saying, like, you start before you're ready. You put the pizza in the, how did you say it?
Put the food in the oven before it's preheated.
Read it. I
Yes.
love that. It's like just go. No, okay, let me ask you this. With that being said, do you have like a testing strategy? Is there something like, how do we know price points? Or you said, put a checklist on Etsy for 99 cents. Well, what if it's 99 versus 9.99? Like, what's kind
Yeah.
of your motto there in terms of how you coach, how you suggest to your clients on how what they're putting up there and maybe how strategically they're putting it up there.
Yes. So I think it's really important in any business to be honest with ourselves about what brand equity we have, what social proof is out there for our business to begin with. And if you are a brand new Etsy shop, you have no sales, no reviews, you should not be pricing the same as everyone else. You really shouldn't. And pricing can be fluid. You can start with a lower price and then raise it to a higher price later once you have built up demand. It's kind of like when you're launching a beta program or something and you are just trying to get people in, right? Get them in, get some feedback. That's what we do on Etsy. And Etsy really values order velocity. So one of the best ways to get your products ranking at the top of search is to increase your order velocity. So the number of sales in a period of time, you want to beat the competition. So if the current bestseller is getting like 10 sales a week, you want to be getting 10 sales a day. So I always say, Alex Hermosi says this, but give it away for free. Like the first 20 orders, it's like, think of it like a grand opening, give it away for free, get the high order count, and then you can increase price, but you'll already have leverage at that point.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, so kind of on that same note, let's say someone's goal is they want to hit their a 10K month, right? They want
Yep.
to hit a 10K month on Etsy. What are those steps that they should focus on first?
Yes. So, and I would say about half the people I work with do sell digital products. So it's becoming more and more popular, especially with people wanting that laptop lifestyle, the
Mhm.
flexibility. So one thing is with digital products, there's two ways to go. One is functional and one is cute. And I always recommend if you are not a graphic designer and you're not hiring a graphic designer to help you, go the functional route. So one of my top sellers does spreadsheets and it's like budgeting spreadsheets. So I'm sure most of us have some kind of a spreadsheet we use to track things. It
Mhm.
would be monetizing something like that as a template. And so we always want to think about with functional digital products, am I helping someone save time, save money, or make money? You will always make more money that way, faster.
Mhm.
You'll get better reviews. You'll have a higher lifetime value of your customer. So I always recommend starting with a product mix that helps them make money, or save time, and then have a dynamic product mix. So different listings that have different purposes, have some loss leaders in there to get people in the door, low
Okay,
price
lost.
point.
Say that again. Have some. What was it?
Loss leaders.
Okay, so what's that?
So a loss leader, do you ever go to Costco? No.
I mean, I use Instacart, but yes.
Okay, you're like, I don't go in that store. I have people who do it for me.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So for for all of the normal people, no, I'm just kidding, Sandy. Um, but for people who go to Costco, they know at the back of the store there's these rotisserie chickens, and
Mhm.
they're $4.99. They're actually Costco lost $4 million in 1 year on those chickens. They put them at the back of the store to get people in because people don't just come for the chicken; they spend $500
You got to walk
on
the aisles to get to the chicken.
exactly.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is the low price point, no brainer, mass appeal type of product. It might be a simple checklist or something in your shop for 99 cents. And then other things in your shop might be 19.99, 29.99.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of
So
have those.
that's
It's almost like when you're, I was going to say, actually, this might be a little different concept, but I was going to say when you're at the checkout counter and you see the $99 piece of gum or thing of gum, but you've already been shopping, but you're there and you get it. It's kind of actually the reverse. You go there for the main thing, but then you're like, oh, they also have this and that. I'll also add those to my cart.
Can we just talk about how bedtime used to be for us? Oh my gosh, you guys, I was hanging off one side of the bed. My kids were laying sideways across the entire bed. And my husband, he was literally falling off the bed. Don't even get me started on the stiff necks. We were actually at the chiropractor more than we were sleeping. We just thought that we had to deal with it until we found Alaskan King bed. Now we can actually co-sleep without the kids kicking us all night long. Everyone has plenty of space, and my husband finally stays in the bed. And we all wake up feeling refreshed, like we actually slept the whole night, because we did. If you're a growing family like us, this bed is a total game changer. More space equals more snuggles, less stress, and so much more quality time. And that was the true reason why we fell in love with this bed. Trust me, you will never go back. So head on over to AlaskanKingBeds.com and use code SANDY for a discount. Wishing you and your family sweet dreams from my family to yours. Make sure you head over to AlaskanKingBeds.com.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Same concept. And so with digital products, you can't make 10K a month with 99-cent products, right? It's going to take a while.
Math
So
ain't
we
math.
want math isn't math. So this is what I recommend. This is my best trick for people selling digital products. As soon as someone orders one product from your shop, offer them the entire shop bundle at a huge discount.
Wow. Okay, so is that automated or how do you work that?
It is manual, but
Okay.
let's say you get 10 orders a day. It's like sending 10 text messages a day.
Okay. And you
You can
run
do
it
it.
all through your app? Are you on your computer? Like, how do you run it?
Well, success loves speed, and the early bird gets the worm. So use the app on your phone.
Okay, love that. We're all about making life simplified with systems and strategies at Slayer Day. So that's why I'm like, okay, is this automated? Is there a system for it? So are you checking in once in the morning, once at night? Like, what is your system for that?
Yeah. So typically, when you're starting out, it won't be at a mass scale. You might get a couple orders a day, and as soon as you get the ding, you can actually send a little snippet. It's like a shortcut. You do a letter, and then it pops up with a message.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like your friend texted you, and you're just checking your phone. It's
Okay,
that simple.
amazing. So just another notification.
Just a notification.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I
Yeah.
love that. So all
Yeah.
right, you have also helped over 4,500 students generate over $27 million in revenue. So I want to know what separates the ones who have succeeded from the ones who are still struggling.
Yeah. It's 2025 right now, and I've thought a lot about this over the last 12 months in many types of businesses, whether it's coaching or Etsy. And what is it that makes people still grow this year when a lot of people are struggling? And I think the biggest thing in many different business categories is that you're not relying on what worked for you last year. And in people who rely on what worked for them, let's say in 2020,
Mhm.
and they're doing the same thing now and they're wondering, why is this not giving me the same result? It's we're trying to do the same thing that worked then, and it's different conditions now. So my most successful Etsy sellers, they are the ones who are evolving and iterating and really expanding in new ways rather than relying on what worked in the past.
So is that putting out new products? Is that bundling products? Is that like what does that look like?
Yeah. So a combination of new customers and new products.
Mhm.
So with Etsy, because you're in a marketplace, you have the flexibility to attract many types of customers to your one shop. Whereas if you're building a personal brand, you're very focused on, maybe it's a couple customer avatars. But with Etsy, you do have the flexibility to target many more types of customers. So one of my top students, she targets grandmas and she targets cheerleaders.
Oh,
Like,
what's her
yeah,
product? What does she do?
so she has giftable items that could be personalized for both like Nana, Gigi, Grandma, but also teams, right?
Okay.
Team sports, and those are great customers to target. Teams, they have budgets for things, and
Mhm.
grandmas, they buy the grandma things.
Yep.
Yeah.
We love our
So
grandmas.
yeah. So what other customers could you serve with your same product? Same thing. Let's say you have a budgeting template. Okay, maybe you're serving families, but maybe now you serve a B2B customer or maybe a college student. So you pull in new customers, new eyeballs, and then expand the product mix. So customer first, product second.
So is this in their marketing? And also another question is, are they, because we mentioned that Etsy is a search engine. So is this in the graphics and how they're marketing on Etsy, or are they posting to, let's say, Instagram, Facebook, other channels, and then driving traffic over? Like, how does that work?
Primarily Etsy. So SEO completely. So when I was on Etsy, I had like one product. It was a sweatshirt, and it was a sweatshirt that said different things on it, whether it be nurse or teacher or
I think I've seen
cheer.
your videos of you like making them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And so I had 79 different listings targeting well over 20 different customers. And the way I did it, it wasn't hardly even with the photo. The photos were a very similar aesthetic, but it was primarily through the SEO.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
And that's in like the description, how you're writing the descriptions.
Titles, descriptions, alt text, tags. Exactly.
Okay, amazing. And you teach this in your course.
Yes. Yes. Most people, they do what I did. They put a picture up and a couple words and they're like, I hope someone finds it.
Right.
Um, but we're being very intentional about who we want to find it because we want to sell to people who have money to spend.
Right. Right. And who you're going to help. I mean, you're saying this and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I already have meal planners and schedulers of like not just time, but like what am I going to make, Monday through Friday on a crazy busy weeknight." So it's for me, it's such an untapped market because I already, just like you said, I already have these things. But it might be a freebie over here on one page, but now we can monetize it over here on Etsy and then also create other opportunities and look and find the gaps to what might complement that.
Exactly. And what we want to do every time we are doing a transaction through Etsy is driving them to socials. So for you, drive them to Instagram. And then basically now we get them into your funnel.
Love that. Okay, so talk to me about that. So now they've already purchased on Etsy. Now they're coming over to see me on Instagram. It's almost like the reverse of what I'm doing on the channels now, where they find me on YouTube or Instagram. And then I would like what I was asking you about driving over to Etsy, but now they find you on Etsy and then they drive you over to go deeper within your community on Instagram.
Yeah. And the thing is, the people on Etsy, not all of them would naturally find you on Instagram. They wouldn't even realize that they need other services that you have. Maybe they're just looking for a meal, prep planner thing. So that's where you can get in front of a very different audience, but you get that initial buy-in on that very low ticket item. Now they're invested and interested. And the best way to do that is you can set up an automation. I know you like automations.
Yes.
Um, so set up an automation when someone orders, they get a message saying, check out Instagram for sneak peeks of your orders. And then they, of course, people want sneak peeks. And it's as simple as even giving shout outs to everyone who ordered from you that day,
Yep, I've
things like
seen you
that.
do that. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. So simple things like that can get them over to your socials.
Amazing. Okay. So I want to just like have you take us back to when you first started. What's the piece of advice? Maybe there's a couple pieces. We'll say three tops that
Yeah.
you would tell your younger self when you just started, now knowing everything that you know. Again, I love this because I'm such a newbie and I get to ask you these questions here. But for those that are listening right now and they're going to start, you know, going into the Etsy world, what are maybe three tips that you would say out of the gate now knowing what you know that you would implement or you would have liked to have known?
Yeah. So I highly recommend not looking to Etsy for product ideas because Etsy is one of the last places to get trends. So they're 6 to 8 months late. And if you're just looking to Etsy for ideas, you're chasing. You're chasing other sellers when you have no social proof, no brand equity built up. So it's like good luck with that. So I always recommend looking outside of Etsy. My best selling products and my best ideas came from a couple places, Pinterest being one. That's one. And then influencers. And I'm talking about some of the Bachelorette stars, some
Oh,
interior
wow.
designer.
Okay, give me an example. I want to know what some of these examples are.
Yes. Okay. So do you know, I believe her name is Allie.
Okay.
She actually, I think she might have fallen for the guy Roberto in Florida. He's in Florida. Do you
Oh,
remember her?
I
She
mean,
has
I
blonde hair.
remember a blonde named Allie.
Yeah.
So I think it's
Okay.
probably the same one. Okay, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And she's, married someone else, of course, like most of them do, like end up with someone else. But she ended up having an interior designer do her nursery. And in her nursery, there was this big, beautiful kind of blush and ivory flower wall with a mirrored acrylic name. I think Bella was her daughter's name.
Okay.
Um, and that was one of my products I ended up selling. It was a custom order. No one was selling this on Etsy. Someone must have made that custom for her. So I started selling
So
this.
you saw this on her like Instagram.
Yeah, I
And
think,
then you're like,
you
I
know,
can do that.
yeah, well, People magazine covered her nursery. So yeah,
Oh.
back when like magazines were.
Yeah,
Yep. And so I saw that feature and I saw, wow, like people are going to want this. Another thing, Erin Williams. Do you know Erin Williams?
I don't. Wait, is that
She's
from
a,
90210?
she was actually on Big Brother.
Okay, okay.
Um,
No, wrong person.
but she's she's like a mommy influencer in Texas, and she and her whole crew of mommy influencers, they started this mom talk thing, TikTok, like dance videos together. But
Okay,
she's a huge fan of Judith March, the
okay,
brand that has the big patches on it.
okay.
And I noticed she was spending over $100 for these sweatshirts. I'm like, wow, I could make that for like $9. So that's when I got the sweatshirt idea. It was from an influencer.
That's amazing. I love how outside the, well, actually, let me ask you this. I was gonna say, I love how outside the box you are. Like you're taking something from other platforms and then bringing them over and doing them in your own way. I love that. Are you using AI at all?
For product ideation, no.
Okay,
Um, I am not for product ideation. For other things in the business, we definitely do.
okay.
Um, but for that, I love a couple things, and this is why I think it's competitive because most people aren't willing to do it. It's not easy going to markets,
Yeah,
right? Going to that's why actually one of the reasons we moved to Vegas was to do trend forecasting at the markets. Um,
interesting.
yeah, so going to markets, really doing that kind of paying attention to what's going on in pop culture. Taylor Swift, okay, now we have the jackets and the bracelets,
Yeah,
those concerts, paying attention.
I
Mhm.
love that. So is this just you? Do you have a team of people who are like eyes and ears on the ground and doing this market research? Like, what does that look like?
We have a coaching team. Yes, we have a coaching team. So 18 of us are paying attention.
I
Yes.
love that. And you're just kind of taking notes and like how does that process work?
Yeah, it's really noticing patterns from like the fashion shows all the way down to more mainstream, like anthropology. What made it into anthro, and paying attention to what's coming up, uh, what we're seeing from even our suppliers overseas, things that they're producing for some of these higher end brands. So it's putting a lot of pieces together, which is why um, AI. There's a lot of, I would say, qualitative work that has to be done.
Mhm.
AI probably eventually will get there, but we're like looking at what's happening this week
Yeah.
in this area. Yeah.
That's amazing. And so, are you more focused now on you're making the products and you're still creating them and putting them on Etsy? Or are you now more focused on your courses and helping women build their Etsy catalogs and businesses?
Yeah. So I think there's a time when you can stretch yourself so thin for
Mhm.
so long, and then you have to make a really hard decision. So for me, it was last October. We actually sold the brand to one of our students. And it was such a hard decision because it was my baby. It was the whole reason we got to this point. But now teaching, over 4,000 people, having a team of, we're almost at 50 as of this week.
Wow.
And then we launched a software company last fall. I just could not keep doing the Etsy shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I mean, even just hearing, how your journey started to where you are now. And it wasn't that long of a timeline.
It really wasn't compared to other things,
Yeah.
other investments you could make. We did a full analysis of all the things you could invest in right now, like a franchise,
Yeah.
stock market, dividends, and Etsy really is a pretty fast return
Uh-huh.
comparatively. Yeah.
So if someone again is just starting or maybe like just getting on right now,
Mhm.
what is that best strategy for them? Do you say make a bunch of products and, see which one works, or are you no, stick to like maybe 1 to 3 things and just go really strategic on those, minimal products.
Quality over quantity all the time.
Okay.
We had someone less than 30 listings. They're making over 20K a month just with that.
Wait, say
So
that again. They have less than 30
listings.
listings. Okay, so like products.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Making over $20,000 a month.
And what are those? Are they printables? Are they like
Yeah, so this is a print on demand category, which have you heard of that?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. So, yeah, print on
Sure.
demand. So she doesn't have any inventory, mostly decor.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I
Yeah.
think it's what a great opportunity, especially for someone. I mean, this could go any way. This could be for someone who wants to do something and like even where you started and you're like, I just want to, be creative. That's what I love too. It's like such a creative outlet that you now get to monetize in a way that works with your lifestyle.
Totally. And you don't have to be an artist. Like for people who are thinking, I can't make things look good, you don't have to. There's so many templates and tools and things you can use to make it look good.
Amazing. I love this. Okay, so you also have two boys, correct?
Yes, two
Okay.
little boys,
And how old are they?
4 and 8.
4 and 8, so very close to my boys. I want to know what your typical day looks like. Like you're running this team and you're running the business. Like give me kind of the rundown on what a typical day looks like for you.
Yes. So my husband, as of 2 months ago, he was able to retire or get out of the military early.
Wow.
So now he's home and he does a lot of the stuff with the kids. So he works in the business with me, but he also does a lot of the school shuttling and things. So
Mhm.
we do have help on that front.
Nice.
And basically wake up like 6:45. He's been so nice getting them ready.
Yeah.
So
We love a
blessed.
supportive partner.
I love a supportive partner. And then yeah, I get ready and I do breakfast with them. My first call is usually at 8. So I'm on calls while they're at school, like 8 to 4,
Mhm.
touch, hang out with them, help with them with homework. Sometimes I'll have calls in the evenings after they go to bed, and I'll be filming during the day, meeting with stakeholders on the team, doing a lot of interviews and just really building the team right now. That's like my biggest focus this year.
Yeah. Okay, so you're building the team.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? Like what do you have coming?
Yes. So, couple things. We are one of our goals in this company is to get to 2 million a month, and so we are working on that collectively. We're bringing in some higher level leadership. We're working with some companies who help source those people,
Mhm.
and we are really looking at helping as many people as possible with our software and with the coaching side. So, building the team, making things more automated, working smarter and um, I really want to focus on bringing AI into each department,
Yeah,
kind of chip away at that more and more.
I love that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about, because I know this is like such a popular question.
Yeah.
How did you overcome, like you have 46 people on your team.
Yeah.
How did you get to that point where you were like, okay, I cannot be afraid of delegating these things? Like you have such great success with Etsy and with what you're doing. Like, how did you let go and just say, okay, like I need to delegate or I need to give this to someone else? Like, what was that turning point for you?
Yeah. So it was just me by myself with the business until we were at 600,000 per month. And at that point, I should have hired
Wow,
months ago.
600,000, all you.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah, and
gosh.
I was doing the selling, I was doing the coaching, doing the marketing, content, everything, and I got to the point where, oh my gosh, like this is gonna break
Hmm.
next month if I do not hire. So I actually got some great advice from Alex Ramosi. I paid $20,000 to go to a 2-day event. I was so scared to invest in that way, but it was the best return because
Yeah,
the advice he gave me was you need to hire a sales team. You need to hire these people. You need an operator. And that changed everything for me. It's almost like they gave me permission
right.
to, yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. So I want to ask you this. Seeing this massive growth that you've had, do you have any daily habits or rituals that keep you sane? I mean, you're a business owner, you're a wife, you're a mother. Like, what is your, like what fills you in your cup so you can like keep going at these high levels?
yeah. So it's so funny. This will be video, right?
Yeah,
This will be
yeah.
okay.
There'll
So I
be
have
audio
this
and video,
notebook.
but for those of you that are listening on audio, maybe you come over and watch the video.
Yes. So I have this notebook, and this is a list of my controllables.
Love
So
this.
I have my list of controllables, and I have every month I put a list of, okay, this is what's going to happen. This podcast is on that list. Like other kind of big things that, okay, I'm going to like check off one thing at a time. These things are definitely happening. So then at the end, I feel very accomplished. This also keeps my mind at ease
Yeah.
because I keep it in one place. Like these are my big rocks that we're kind of
Yep.
moving this month. So that's one thing I do, writing things down. Um, Other things, I am a big fan of WNBA basketball.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how that happened, but suddenly have you heard of Caitlin Clark?
No,
Okay.
I'm not a big, sorry. I
No,
feel like I
no.
know, is she someone in sports?
Yeah, she completely changed the WNBA over the last couple years. And
Okay.
this like girl from Iowa joined the Indiana Fever, and now Nike has like redoing a lot of their women's marketing using her. So she's like getting all these brand deals, and she's showing up in not just the athletic space, but other spaces as well. So
Wow.
I'm a huge fan of watching that. It's very competitive, and then of course soccer games with the kids. Being that sports mom, I love it. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And then how do you unplug? Like if you're kind of like in the mix of your day and the kids are going to school and then they come home, do you have like a cutoff point where you're like, okay, now I'm just at soccer with the boys and then I'm back home and I'm working again, or you shut it off at that point? Like, how does that work for you?
Yeah. So when we are at soccer, fully present, right? Put the phone in the bag and everything. But I will be honest, like I'm the mom who I'm passenger princess. I have my laptop on my lap. If we're commuting more than 15 minutes, I
Mhm.
will be getting some stuff done in the front seat.
Yeah.
So I do that kind of thing. And at first, I felt guilty, like, oh gosh, I'm like straddling both sides of the fence here. But I do think it's helpful for the kids to see that everything they have,
Hmm.
why why they have these cool new soccer shoes and why
Yeah.
they have this life is from the effort we put in.
Yep. Absolutely. We talk to the boys about that all the time. We're like, these vacations we go on, these the trips and the clothes and the this and then that, like it's because we work hard. And I think that it instills such a great work ethic in them. So they know, like we'll even say to them, like, okay, like if you won something, you have to earn it. Like, how are you going to earn this? So it shows them like, okay, like what do I have to do? How do I create value? And what am I going to come up with? So it's like getting that creativity going that they have to come up with. We're not telling them, they have to figure that out.
Totally. And I think, in their future, I want them to look back at times where I saw my mom problem solving.
Yes.
I saw her working. The money just didn't show up. And so they know what goes into it. So they don't expect that this is going to come easy.
Right. I love
Yeah,
that. It's so good. I mean, especially today, I think when everything's so instantaneous, there's so many benefits to it. But at the same time, it's like building a business, it takes time, it takes hard work and dedication and focus. And if we can build that into kind of their daily habits and things that they're doing, it's such an advantage.
totally.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
Okay, well, I would love for you to share. I know that there's so many women that are going to be listening that are like, I've got to get on Etsy. Like, and I'm the kind of person that like, if I want to do something, show me the most productive, effective, and efficient way to do it. Right. Cause
Right.
like we can go through the trial and error, but there's also people like you that can help us navigate. If you want to get to point B, you can go and try and figure it out yourself, but you also can connect with someone who has been there, who's done it, who knows the tips and tricks and little kind of hacks that can make it easier and worth the time and the effort and the energy. So I would love for you to share what you have going on and also where the ladies can connect with you.
Yes, yes. So our Etsy course and coaching, that is always open enrollment. You can always book a free call to learn about that. But I think what would be helpful, because I think there might be a couple people in your audience. One type of person might be thinking, I want to use Etsy as top of funnel to, acquire customers and leads, which so I'll give an Etsy checklist of everything you'd need to be doing on like the daily to kind of get the shop going. But then I also want to give something to the audience who might be thinking, well, how like this $10 million in courses and coaching, how did that happen?
Yeah.
So I'll give a little bundle we put together with everything that we've done to drive that organic growth so fast. So either way, whatever you're interested in, we'll have something for both of you.
Amazing. So we will link that in the show notes. So you can click that and check it out. And then Dylan, where is the best place for everybody to connect with you on social?
So Instagram and YouTube are primarily where I hang out. TikTok is a new thing we're doing too, but primarily Instagram. I do a lot of stories. We're renovating a house right now. So Dylan Jahraus is the name there. And then YouTube, I post twice a week, long form videos. So if you want like a lot of meaty education, head over there.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here today. I know I was so excited to have you and chat with you and kind of, get into the nitty gritty of Etsy and you might be seeing me on there. I think, my mind is made up and this is going to be a new venture. So thank you so much for being here today. And ladies, as always, make sure you go out and slay your day.